Okay, year 8 this morning I uploaded a video on the causes of the English Civil War and the reasons why Parliament and Charles I fall out and how England ends up at war. Now I'm going to fast forward a little bit in time to the end of the Civil War, the English Civil War, after King Charles has been executed, which we've all looked at this year in lessons. Now I'm going to talk about what happens afterwards and the rule of one man, Oliver Cromwell. So Oliver Cromwell rules England after Charles I. He's Lord Protector of England up until his death in September 1658. So he rules England alongside Parliament from the end of Charles's reign, and he rules England and Scotland and Ireland just like King Charles did. Now I'm going to talk about several features of Oliver Cromwell and Oliver Cromwell's rule. Starting with, I think it's important to start with Oliver Cromwell's religious beliefs, which was that he was a Puritan. Okay, now I've talked about Puritans quite a lot this year, particularly when I was talking about Tudor religion and the time of Elizabeth in particular. But Cromwell was a Puritan. Now, if you don't remember, you need a bit of reminding. Puritans lived their lives as pure as possible. Clues in the name, Puritan. They try to focus on God in everything they do and live a good life, a very simple life where, again, most of the time you're supposed to be thinking about God, and that's how they try and live their life. Now, Cromwell was a very strict Puritan, okay? And as a result of this very strict Puritan life, or his Puritan values that he tried to maintain and keep, Cromwell, when he was in charge of England, when he was Lord Protector, he shut down many inns, so pubs, people couldn't go and have a drink or get drunk, and he closed down all theatres. Okay, so a lot of entertainment went away because, again, Cromwell thought, well, you shouldn't be having fun, you should really be thinking about God and living a very simple life. That's what the Bible tells us, to live a simple life, and, you know, dedicate it to God and to prayer. So you shouldn't be going down the pub or down the inn to get drunk or enjoy yourself, just like you shouldn't be going to the theatre to watch a play. You know, you should be thinking about God all the time. He also banned most sports as well, because again, you're playing sport and you're having fun and you're not thinking about God, you're thinking about scoring a goal or whatever sport it may be. You're not thinking about God, and you should be. So most sports were banned. In fact, boys who were caught playing football on a Sunday could be whipped as a punishment, so it was taken very seriously. So that's one main feature of Cromwell's England. It becomes quite strict and quite simple because of these things that he bans. Now, very famously or infamously, well, I don't want to say he banned Christmas, because he didn't ban Christmas. What Cromwell did was make significant changes to Christmas. Christmas still happened every year. 25th of December still came around every year, and people acknowledged it and went to church and thought about the birth of Jesus. But Cromwell changed the way people celebrated Christmas. In fact, he took away a lot of the celebratory aspects of it. So he stopped people exchanging gifts, so you wouldn't get Christmas presents anymore, so banned that. Dressing in fine clothing, again, Puritans dress very simply, so again, he didn't like the idea of dressing up in fine clothing, Christmas or not. Eating too much and drinking too much, again, you know, this is gluttonous behaviour for Oliver Cromwell. He doesn't like it. It's not in keeping with his idea of living a simple or a pure or a good life. So again, he bans that. At Christmas, you shouldn't be eating too much or drinking too much. Decorating as well, so you wouldn't have, you know, a decorated house for Christmas. Again, keeping things very, very simple. So he doesn't ban Christmas, but he makes significant changes to Christmas to really kind of take away a lot of the fun. Because he wanted Christmas returning to a purely religious celebration. Now, you probably hear it quite often now, maybe from your parents. People have forgotten what Christmas is really about. Christmas is, you know, a celebration of the birth of Christ. That's where it comes from. Yeah, it's a Christmas. It's a Christian religious festival where we're supposed to think about the birth of Jesus Christ. And you know, Christians do that, but of course, Christmas, particularly nowadays, has become very commercialised, and it focuses on presents and, again, eating turkey and all the trimmings and all that kind of things. those kinds of things. So Cromwell didn't like that aspect of Christmas. He wanted Christmas to focus purely on thinking about the birth of Christ and not, oh, I wonder what I'm getting for my Christmas gift or gifts. Oh, I can't wait to eat my Christmas goose and drink lots of nice wine, etc. He wanted it to be just a purely religious festival where people thought about Jesus and they didn't enjoy themselves really, or too much anyway. And there were punishments for breaking these rules as well. A fine. Okay, so if you did, exchange gifts or dress in fine clothing or eat or drink too much or decorate your house, and Cromwell found out about it, or Cromwell's or the government found out about it, you could be fined. So again, they took this very seriously. And finally, the last thing that I'm going to talk about with Cromwell's England, or Cromwell's rule, is something else that he did quite infamously, and that is killing Catholics. Now, Oliver Cromwell has a particular hatred for Irish Catholics. That's partly, but not completely, but partly due to the fact that a lot of Catholics were, or Irish Catholics I should say, had links to supporting the Royalists. So quite a lot of Irish Catholics supported King Charles and wanted a return to having a king. So again, Cromwell's quite worried that these Irish Catholics are going to rise up against him, particularly in Ireland, and maybe spread some kind of revolution. So he was worried that they were potential revolutionaries and traitors, and in 1649 Cromwell sent an army to Ireland, where his forces slaughtered many Irish Catholics, not just men but women and children as well, particularly in places such as Wexford or Drogheda. In Drogheda, actually, a church was burned down with hundreds of people still inside it. So this was a pretty horrific episode in English history, and it shows that Cromwell wasn't completely innocent and completely nice, because here's something that was pretty horrific and it was happening as a result of Oliver Cromwell's orders. He ordered this to happen, and it did happen. So when you compare Oliver Cromwell with Charles I, it's interesting to think who was worse, because we have Charles, who clearly ruled England in a very tyrannical and cruel way. I'm King Charles and what I say goes, divine right of kings and all that I talked about this morning. And we saw what he did to people who disagreed with him as well. Remember the Puritans who disagreed with King Charles, they had their ears chopped off. Okay, so Charles could be very nasty and very cruel, but here's Oliver Cromwell doing something equally as nasty in Ireland. Okay, so Cromwell has also got a nasty or cruel or even tyrannical side to him. Okay, so it's interesting to think who was worse. I'll let you decide that. Some of you might think Cromwell, some of you might think Charles. In fact, leave a comment below if you have an idea. If you think Cromwell was worse, tell me why. If you think Charles was worse, tell me why. It'd be interesting to have a look at that. So that is a very quick look at Oliver Cromwell and why people have different interpretations of him and some of the famous things or infamous things that he's known for. Make sure year 8 that you keep revising. Your exam is tomorrow, so tonight really cram in some last minute revision. Hopefully this video has helped you a bit with Oliver Cromwell in case you get a question on him. Best of luck for that exam, and I will see you very soon.